Well, the Montreal Canadiens have just lost game number 6 in their second round series against the Buffalo Sabres 8-3. And I don't even know what to say. Like, that right there was a game. That was a hockey game, and it's one that I don't even think we have enough time to talk about all the goals, all the stories, or what have you, so let's just dive into what happens now. Because for Montreal Canadiens fans, an 8-3 loss on home ice in what could potentially be the last game at the Bell Center this season is obviously not the way you want to go out. And I'll give credit where credit is due. The Montreal Canadiens, at some point or another, they looked like they were in control of this game. And that came shortly into the first period here. Yes, it's true. Rasmus Dahlin kicked things off 32 seconds into the game with, admittedly, one of the nastiest goals we have ever seen in these playoffs. And you just look at the NHL goal visualizer thing that they've got going on here. The puck gets played back over to Dahlin, and he just waltzes right through everybody before shoveling it on the backhand on Jakub Dobes. It's a beautiful goal. It set the tone early. But the Montreal Canadiens, they responded back. And they responded back very, very well, because Arber Xhekaj scored on Montreal's first shot of the game. A long one from the point that kind of went in off of Alex Lyon, but it still went in regardless. And then on the power play, 7 minutes later, the very next shot, Ivan Demidov fires home a one-timer, assisted by Lane Hutson and Cole Caulfield. Caulfield back over to Hutson, across, and then Demidov. He fires and he scores. That's Montreal, 2 goals on 2 shots. Demidov has his second of the playoffs, and obviously, Canadiens fans are super excited to be seeing him do what he does finally in the postseason. And then it just gets even better because the Montreal Canadiens, they end up shorthanded a few minutes later. And what do you know? It's a 2-on-1 rush where Jake Evans scores his second goal of the playoffs. Coming in on Lyon, he doesn't take the pass, he just shoots, and it's in the back of the net. Montreal had a 3-1 lead in this game. They scored 3 goals on 3 shots. Alex Lyon gets pulled after allowing every single shot that came his way. No matter how bad the Montreal Canadiens fumble this game, let it be known that Alex Lyon was the worst statistical goaltender of the night. And that is something that we should... Oh, actually, they gave him a save. Okay, never mind. It was 3 goals and 3 shots for the longest time here. Okay, he made 1 save on 4 total shots against. So that obviously is not the way you want to start things out if you're Buffalo. But everything after the 3-1 lead for Montreal is exactly the way you don't want to see things go for the Habs. Because quickly after that, Jason Zucker scores on the man advantage, brings the game within 1. Then in the second period, 1 minute in, it's Zach Benson. He ties it up 3-3. Then 9 minutes after that, Jack Quinn, he scores a slap shot on the power play to make it 4-3 Buffalo. And then 2 minutes after that, Konsta Helenius makes it 5-3 Buffalo. And then in the third, Jack Quinn makes it 6-3 Buffalo. And then with the goalie pulled, Tage Thompson scores to make it 7-3 Buffalo. And then Zach Metsa gets his first NHL playoff goal. He scores on the power play. Beats Jakub, no, not Jakub Dobes, it was Jacob Fowler, excuse me, and the Buffalo Sabres walk out of the Bell Center with an 8-3 win. The Canadiens were up 3-1 in this game, And to articulate how crazy everything is, let's go ahead to the Money Puck Deserve to Win O-meter. Because, yes, this was an 8-3 Buffalo win, but according to the... Oh my goodness, it's so bad! Oh no! Oh my gosh! The Deserve to Win O-meter tells the entire story. The Montreal Canadiens, based off of the quality of the chances they had accomplished in this game, they had a 1.9% chance to win this contest in general. Talk about closing things out on home ice, eh? Talk about winning a Game 6 at home, eh? Talk about 1.9%! Like, what in the world is that? Go over to the actual chances here. Buffalo had 7.51 expected goals in all situations. Montreal had 2.05. Tage Thompson himself had 1.73 expected goals, and Montreal was carried by Cole Caulfield and Ivan Demidov, who each had 21.26% of Montreal's expected goals in this contest. I mean, this is not a good game for the Montreal Canadiens. This is not the way you wanted to show up for your fans, have this really nice moment of celebration at the Bell Center, and now we are starting to see the narratives, you know? I don't even want to say that all of these goals were necessarily Jakub Dobes' fault. The Dahlin goal, that was kind of nasty, not gonna lie. Jason Zucker, okay, it was a power play goal. So maybe it's not the easiest to go out there and defend against if you are Jakub Dobes, especially on a backdoor cross-crease attempt like that. I can forgive the goaltender for giving up a cross-crease, especially for Jakub Dobes, who ended up stopping a cross-crease or two earlier on in the game as well. But then some of these goals in the second period, I mean, you're taking a look at Jack Quinn and his slap shot on the power play. He had been overdue. He was not able to get anything going in terms of the goal column until this game. He ends up firing it with no screen in front right past Dobes. I get it. It's a power play. There's always an open guy. But he was pretty free. And Dobes did not end up stopping a clean shot with no screen whatsoever. Konsta Helenius and his 5-3 goal in transition here. Look at that rim around the boards that finds itself onto the stick of Zucker. A cross for Helenius, another cross crease goal. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Dobes was the problem per se, but Montreal's terrible defense did not do them any favors. Now we are starting to see narratives like this popping up on social media. Take a look at what HFTV Sports went out there and posted about. There are two ways you can look at the game tonight. You can really doom and gloom because of the scoreline, the unanswered goals, the lack of desire after the first period, bad penalties, bad defensive play, and it would be totally valid. I'd prefer looking at it this way, though. The series didn't end tonight. It ends on Monday. Most games have been blowouts, and that didn't stop both teams from bouncing back. And the Canadiens are a much better road team than they are a home team for whatever reason. Dobes is undefeated after every loss in these playoffs. A lot of reasons to be optimistic heading to Game 7, and I think they have an obligation to fight for their lives after missing out on the opportunity to put it away tonight. Flush this one, shake it off, and win Monday. Go Habs, go. So I'll leave you with that. The Montreal Canadiens put up an absolute stinker on home ice. They choked away a 3-1 lead, losing 8-3, with both goalies in the mix, both goalies letting in goals, the defense playing terribly, and the offense not getting anything going against UPL, who ended up technically having a personal shutout, if you wanted to say that. I get that he didn't play the entire game, so it really isn't a shutout, but he played all the minutes he did, and he didn't let in anything. So, Montreal, what a way to lose a hockey game, eh? Monday is Game 7, and we will be here to talk about everything once more. For now, though, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Habs losing to the Sabres 8-3 at home in Game 6 of their second round playoff series? I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on. That deserved to win-o-meter number. This is going to haunt my dreams. And bye.